다시 될 수에는 잡지도 되네. 선전 탐지에도 노도베 탐지고 본토고 유 대체로 되네. 상제 맨내기 되네. 저도 년 되네. 년바 담마이 뭐 술지도 하신 냠살람 버지기 냠비 삼바 저체와 장조 샘기 근롱원도 당내 새로 지시.
Tashi Dele, everyone. Please listen the Dharma with vast motivation of bodhicitta, thinking that I am going to listen the Dharma of Medicine Buddha. Not only listening, but also I am going to practice it in order to benefit all sentient beings.
상제 면례게 도다 면람기 개발을 시작하던 되네. 상제면의 신감기 개발이 다 배윤기 개발 시발납니다. 당부 매랑기 개발도 공도 송자는 신감 개발 시발 대양 다 것이 공도 손에 가상기 되네시나 양 대체 코르디 낭네 장축 셈바 첨보 잡들 시저와 된데 랑대 라그 타와 직도서는 비모 예비 항아 살라 쭉대 점된데 걸어와 대를 lokso 텔모 저로 뛰네 점된데라 디게제 솔도 준번 점된데 레미 뒤나 셈진 존에 나초기 류 용수 세르데 윤랭빈 존에기 류기 샤웨징 제바당 꼼베 대화당 추니 감 공발라는 건도 줘 자세당 예도당 나긴 연참 무와 남기니 꼬를 촉남니 민바르 통 지등이 나오는 민백이 나와 버득이 나와서 신지 미남기니 다 정의 티 대류니 대류 디나 녀사 디나 녀량 넘버 쉐바 최기 절보 신지 든도 티징 메대당 렌지 깨비 사 레신 정화강 로바데니 대개와 미기위 레기버 대덕 탐지 레바르 이거를 드네 최기 절보 신제라 풀와당 최기 절보 신제 대라 신제 다 신보 대라 지신 딱네 개와 미개와 지다를 기바 대신도 고발라 강다 네바디 된도 다 된데 다 네바디 신지 저기 된라다 된데네 네데베 갑데서는 갑데라 다 네바디 된도 좀 된데 대신 세바 민길라 벤드의 외기 절보 대라 잡수 치신 디저위 저위 최바기나 다 신라네베기 파마 빈자데저기다 신보디 된도 상제면라라 최바풀 잡수로 되잖아요. 디저위 저위 최바기나 디 넘버 쉐바 라르 독징 신제제베드네 라르 독징 밀람미바신도 다니기 첼위 네데르 치데 다 밀람 니세바낭신 창네 되네 강소 라르 되네 코랑기 풍보들라 죽투게 있는 티데 양난이 독든 다 샤보든 양난이 샤보 니슈 짜지게 양난이 독 숨주 장아 양난이 독시주 셰굴라 데 남르셰바 라르 독진 템바니엘라 다 샤오데 녜바민도 시 강다르 시주 셰규게 남굴라 데네 라르 독 강소 심보데 라르 렙투게 에피데는 대개와당 미기웨 레기 남바르 민바 다니게 원숨도 주로 데네 코랑게 다 레 기리 가레제 여바 차상 데네 신제 제복이 시 되는 그 공소 최상 그런 게 하고 그래. 그게
So this medicine Buddha has two subdivision about his great special aspiration and the benefit of practicing it. The first one we have already done, and second one we are doing that, and also we have done some of them. To continue from last week, the sutra says, also at that time, out of his retinue, a bodhisattva, mahasattva, named Kyabtrol. Kyabtrol is a Tibetan word. So if you translate it in English, it could be translated as like refuge, liberation, Kyab and Drol. But anyway, this is just a name, his name. A bodhisattva, mahasattva named Kyabtrol stood up from his seat, adjusted his upper robe to bear his shoulder, and knelt down on his right knee. He bowed to Bhagavan with joined palms. Joined palm is the translation of Anjali Mudra, in Tibetan with the Thamojava. And he requested to Bhagavan, saying, respected Bhagavan, in the future time, because in Tibetan we have two words, Lemetse and Lemetu, so I put two. In the future time. It seems same to me, but there must be a reason for having two of them. In the future time, those beings whose bodies are tortured with various sicknesses, because of being ill for a long time with sickness, they become very skinny, they are hungry, their throats and lips become dried with thirst. They are heading to the dead who are being surrounded by crying friends, relatives, brothers, and sisters. They see darkness in every direction. So they don't see light anymore when they are dying, when the process of dying is happening. They are being led by the people of Yama. So this is something we call, sometimes also called the messenger of Yama. Yama is the Lord of Death. Even though his or her body is lying down here, the consciousness is taken to the Dharma King of Yama, the Lord of Death. The deity, which was born simultaneously with that person, with that dying person, will follow him or her, and the deity will offer the written records of virtues or non-virtues that have been accumulated by the person to the Dharma King of Yama, the Lord of Death. The Dharma King of Yama, the Lord of Death, will ask the deity and analyzes whether virtues or non-virtues, just as they have been accumulated, and will order accordingly. Somehow, if offerings are made to the Bhagavan Tathagata, Arhata Samyasam Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of the Light of Lavis Lazuli, by taking refuge in him with this kind of effort on the behalf of the sick person or dead person, his consciousness will return, just like having a dream wherever one wants. His consciousness will return either in 7 days, or in 21 days, or in the 30 days, or in 49 days, and he will gain recollection. But time is uncertain. But anyway, within 49 days, the consciousness will return to the same body. Then the result of virtue and non-virtue will be actualized by oneself. Therefore,
다 개화당 미기위 레기 넘버 민비기 대부디 온숨도 통화라 때문에 다 친친이 속이 레도양 디비레 미기도 다 치와 속라 밤나양 되네 디비레 지기미 삼배 지게 녜시디 레토기여도 이도 대다 락베 대베리기 봄에 대신셔바들라 쳐바르 기호 근데 게 배연당 유바 연장 좀센델라 때네 되네 리기봄 수이나야 되네 대신셔바 상이 좀 내는 민게라들라 쳐바 표거래 이렇게 쳐바르 기호 되네 세당된 마군 가을 장조선바 짭들라 되게제 매서 되네 세당된 군거다 양 짭들죠 짭들라 다 쳐바 피당 간데를 있습니다. 좋아는 리기부 좀 된데 대신 셔바 민길라 벤르야 외기 접어들라 지다를 쳐버리죠. 오늘 다 쳐바 간데선 그거래. 피야 가리 피거래. 장조선바 짭들기 매바 다 군거를 렌점. 순바 군거 강덕 네 쳔볼레 용서 타워로 되바 대다기 네바디 된도 닌든 첸든 다 닌센든도 옛날 제당된메 소정게 도마랑와로 자오 다 닌든 닌센든라 소정게 도마랑 개롱게 게든라 세당 꼼남당 예제 탐지기 진니수 최바당 되네 긴든발라 쳐바피 림로 자오 님 긴든발라 다 림름 닌 렌숨 첸 렌숨도 좀 된데 대신 셔바 민겔라 벤르야 외기 절버디 첸 일라 자오 다닌 렌숨 첸 렌숨 니센 두둑도 네 민겔라 벤르야 외기 첸 된거래 일라 자오 도디 렌 시주 짜고 된 말이죠. 다 니마 듄 닌신 듄기 나라다 도디 되네 차를 십주 시고 된 거래 말이죠. 샤시주 자고를 말매 비버죠. 샤시주도 말매 고속 듄죠. 다 상제 면내기 고속 듄 벤제를 대시 대화셔버 듄기 속인다. 듄죠. 고속 레레 쟁아량 말매 듄 샤고 자 고속을 놈 말매 레레 체장 신대 방로 잠도 자대 다 말매 최종 체가 되는 당아도 신대기 콜로기 배 체저버지죠. 다 가리기 콜로로 최종된다. 진내장 샤오시주 자고를 말매 미세바르죠. 샤오시주 자고에게 바르돌라 되는 말매 준 마체바 바로 풀고 말이죠. 천낭압에 받은 시주 자고를 학바르죠. 되네 다르죠. 내가 카도 내내기 다르죠. 십주 시구 차로 하버려. 준바 근고 현양 제일보 제릭지오네 왕구로 남라 내기 내밤 랑게 막속섬 다양나 랑게 막속거기다 몰록제는 저거죠. 바르게 막소 양의 치 막소기 내밤 주거기 내밤 사다위 내밤 사님이 내밤 뒤 마인베 롱당 차르기 내밤 텐베 내바양 롱데 내바당 내고와당 추벌 시식 내와를 내바르 줄나 제일보 제릭지오 내 왕구르와 대 셈젠 탐제라 잠베 셈소 저 전도송과 남 땅와의 자신 공도 매바신도 좀 된데 대신 세바 민게라 벤저야 외게 접어 대라 대답으로 쳐봐 제나 제일보 제릭지오네 왕구와 대 기회서와 대답 좀 된데 대신 세바 민게라 벤저야 외게 접어 대 응기 멜람기 개발기 율 대화당 로 레버 주르 룽당 차르 뒤수 당신 로독 두벌 주르 로독 분섬 속바 두벌 율 대난네베 셈젠 탐제장 네 매바당 류 대화당 셈 촉도가와 망버르 주르
So since one have experienced the result of virtuous and non-virtuous action, therefore he or she will never perform negative action again, even at the cost of his or her life. Since it is so, faithful noble sons or daughter make offerings to that Tathagata. Then Venerable Ananda asked to the Bodhisattva capital, "Noble son, how should we make offering to Bhagavan Tathagata, Arhate Samyasam Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of the Light of Labis Lazuli?" The Bodhisattva capital answered, "Venerable Ananda, those who ever want to get complete freedom from terrible sicknesses." In Tibetan we have ne Khenpo, which usually literally means big sicknesses, but I just translate as terrible sicknesses. Maybe this is better. Anyway, terrible sicknesses should take the 8 precepts of Sobjong, vows, or Posada is Sanskrit. I think this is familiar, you all know, 8 precepts of Sobjong vows, for 7 days and 7 nights, on behalf of that sick person. Offerings of food, drinks, and provision should be made to the Sangha of Bhikshus, and they should be served. The Sangha of Bhikshus should be served. The name of the Bhagavan Tathagata, Arhata Samyasam Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of the Light of Labis Lazuli, should be remember 3 times a day and 3 times a night. This sutra should be recited 49 times. So that is within 7 days and 7 nights. This sutra has to be recited for 49 times. Butter lamb should be offered for 49 days. 7 statues should be made. And Sutra says the 7 statues should be made, and Khenpo explained these 7 statues mean the statue of the 7 Medicine Buddha brothers. And 7 butter lamb should be placed in front of each statues. The size of each butter lamb should be as big as the wheel of chariot. Shingda. Chariot is the ancient example, but now Khenpo also said we can also use the wheel of a car. So anyway, very big, because in the ancient we have this chariot, right? Chariot, yes, chariot. So, and butter lamb should be definitely continue for 49 days. More than 49 5-color flags should be made. Then more than 49 5 colors flag or ribbons should be made. Venerable Ananda, furthermore, those kings, in Tibetan we have Gyalpo, Gyarik, Chivo, and Wangkurba. So I just translated a king. Actually, this is in Indian, in ancient time, there are 4 different tribes or castes: Brahma, Kshatriya, and so forth. And this is the Kshatriya caste, the second, which belong to the king. And then Chivo no Wangkurba means the one who in power from the head. So it just means a king. Anyway, so I put a very easy word. In Tibetan it's Gyalpo, Gyarik, Chivo no Wangkurba. Very long one. I just said king. Okay. Those king who has harmful problem from sicknesses, from troops of oneself or others. The sutra says like that. Then Khenpo said when we say from troop of oneself, that means sometimes your own troop protest and become against to you. And from planets, from sun, from moon, from untimely wind, from rain, from drought, right? D-R-O-U-G-H-T. Drought. Yeah, that a time when you don't get rain for a long time. In Tibetan we say tempa. So drought, yeah, drought, and from anything whatever it may be. If you have this problem in that country with that king, then the king should have kind mind for all sentient beings. In Tibetan it's a champe sam. So the mind of Maitreya or kind mind or loving kind mind.
대화당 쪽도 가볼 몽골 줄.
라서.
샘진 탐지장 내매바당 대화당 쪽도 가볼 줄.
라서.
되네 율들.
참들. 되는 가 참. 되셔라. 되네. Okay. And from rain, and then the king should have kind mind for all sentient beings. The prisoner should be released. And as mentioned earlier, the offerings should be made to the Bhagavan Tathagata, Arhata Samyasam Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of the Light of Lavis Lazuli. If these are done in the way that has just been mentioned, then by the previous special aspiration of Bhagavan Tathagata, Arhata Samyasam Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of the Light of Lavis Lazuli, and the root of the king's virtue, the land or the area will be comfortable. There will be good and bumper harvest. Bumper harvest. You say bumper harvest? Harvest. Good harvest. The wind and rain will happen on time, right time, and crops will be accomplished, as many as you want. All sentient beings who live in that area will be comfortable, free of sicknesses, and there will be plenty of supreme joy. So the sutra says like that, and when you say will be comfortable, Khenpo said that related morely with a physical pleasure, and then when it says there will be plenty of supreme joy, that is related more the joy of mental joy. Last one.
네 율대를 뇌진당 심보당 중보당 샤사마롱베 셈젠남라 제월 미주로 다 된대기 내가 중배기 값수 있나양 되네 강소 디 상제면라를 쳐봐보는 편인데 땡에 마탐제 통화를 미주로 다 강다를 율롱바델라 되네 땡에 마통하면 제일보 제리교네 왕구로 대체당 세당 독당 또당 내매바당 왕충남 응원바를 펠와를 주로 대내 세당된 바 끈거 다디 다 상제면라라 소중닌 렌닌든 첸든 소중신의 최바표의 이 내가 거두 표고래서나 내바당 미신보 시워 디니기도 직 되네 미세기 제보당 다 제합기 다고 다 디수기 되네 강소 셈전라 닝지 끼네 되네 디제바이나 되네 코랑줄라 제보당 다 본보 코랑줄라 네바당 처와 미중 또당 시제 왕당 벨 대마제베 되네 율롱바 델라 되네 미당 미마인게 네바당 처와 미중 차주 두즈보 로지닥도 레발레 베기 그바유세는 다 건도 조조 대신 소정신의 소원답 얘기 뒤도 이 건도 답긴 네네 야 되네 세당대 막라 세당대 막 근거의 양 장주 선바 잡들라 되게 재면에서 잡들라 양잡 되어당 리기 뭐 지단나 체 용서 세네 양만바르게 되네 신보디 체 세네 고 시송아 말에 양자를 간데서는 수 깨토게래 세네다 장주 선바 잡들라 되어당 말 장주 선바 잡들게 매바 준바 근가오 뒤마인바르 치워 고여바 크기 대신식발레 마퇴삼 세세다 강소다 세네 시와이나 로야 매버도 인들이 이나양 시와라데네 세세네 시긴 용용레 세 마세발라데네 뒤민기 치워 넘버 고저버직드네 상직이 송유바 저랑게 퇴마성에 되는 다 뒤민 세 마세베 깬 마세기 치워돼서 독특이로 라르투 로트 코르코르딩 대체를 막당 mengi jorwa nam tendo se ta dumingi chiwa de dobi ge chedola dene sangye dang jangyo sem da 저기 탑시 막당 mengi jorwa nam 템바레 송바레 semje nege tapala de netab miche장 맨당 림조 제바당 미덴남 다 뒤민기 치워 구이나네 가로레즈나 당보디 되네 네 삽침보 메나양 맨당 림조라 마덴바 당 양나 맨바 맨 마인바 제바 양 유대 가시 양 맨바 대적이 맨 로바를 존에 되네 뒤면 치워 저기는 요래 세도 되니 뒤 마인바 치워 당모인 맨나름도 미덴바 맨 로바를 제바 뒤면 치워 당모인 뒤 마인바 치워 니번니 강 젤베 체베 치위 뒤 제바오 가시 되네 세 마세나요 젤베기 체바포네 되는 시긴 요래 뒤 마이말 치워 숨바니 강다 하장 방메디 방메바네바 대달라 미마인 바다기 당초바오 다 뒤밍이 치워 숨바디 방메라 되네 미당 미마인기 당초바레 되고 다 뒤나라 펜제를 방메기 쥐어봐 차상 다 딩상저버나 창라 되는 미시긴 가세요 대나신 강소 녀세라 되네 미시긴 가세 디수 차상 다 방메기 강소 뒤미 방메라 되네 뒤미 치와래도 당초방 뒤마인바 치와 시반니 강다 매측디 치위 뒤제바오 가시는 매칭의 시기는 대가서 통신만 뒤마이말 치왕아반에 강다 추이치와 추이지박이 나타내죠 뒤마이말 치와 주반에 강다 생계당 딱당 와당 줄당 젠센 초이 농도 취대 치와 다 젠생기 지배 치와 뒤마이말 치와 뒷반이 강다 리칸네 양돌 홍어 다 릴리 홍네 뒤마이말 치와 제반네 강다 독당 제당 로랑기 조리 써바오 다 가시 독진에서 가시 제가 투당에서 받아서 받는다라 뒤마이말 치와 구반네 강다 세당 꼼 마니네 제바당 꼼베년데 치위 뒤제바오 도르나 디덕니 디신색비 뒤마이마 치와 첨보 땜바데 현양 뒤마이마 치와니 정면 박도 매도
And actually this is a conversation between Ananda and the Bodhisattva capital. So to continue the sutra, no yakshas or rakshas or bhoots or gandharvas, pernicious gandharvas, marungba, in Tibetan we say marungba, pernicious, I put this word, pernicious. Yeah, I just put this word. This is my first time to use, so I don't know how correct is that. But anyway, when I searched for marungba, I found this one, and it looks quite fun. So, pernicious gandharvas, which means a terrible looking, frightening one, will harm. Okay, no yakshas, no rakshas, no bhoots, and no pernicious gandharvas will harm to that area. So this is the area where a king who has a compassionate mind for the sentient beings, who release the prisoners, and who practice medicine Buddha. And all bad omen will not be seen. The life of the king, the complexion of the king, and the power of the king, and freedom from sicknesses, and glory of king will increase. So this is sutra, the time where you should take the Sobjung for 7 days and 7 nights is like when we have problem with the above mentioned problem. Like for example, you have problem from the untimely death, and then rain, too much rain or no rain, drought, and so forth. When you have this kind of problem, then if the chief of that area practice, then the result will ripen to whole area. So anyway, the conversation between Venerable Ananda and the Bodhisattva capital continues. So Then the Venerable Ananda told to Bodhisattva capital, "Noble son, how someone whose lifespan is exhausted can manifestly born again?" Because just before that we says, if you do practice on behalf that sick person or the dead person, then his consciousness will come back again and so forth. So this raises the question. So Ananda asked, because Bodhisattva capital was the one who told this, and then Ananda asked, he says, "Noble son, how someone whose lifespan is exhausted can manifestly born again?" The Bodhisattva capital answered, "Venerable Ananda, haven't you heard from the Tathagata that there are 9 untimely deaths?" So what it shows, if somebody is die untimely, then because of the practice we can revive his life, and we can bring back his consciousness to the same body. But if his lifespan is exhausted, over, then there is nothing we can do. So that's the main point here. And then Khenpo said, these days most people die untimely. There are very few people who really die after all lifespan is exhausted or over. So anyway, so the Bodhisattva capital answer, "Venerable Ananda, haven't you heard from the Tathagata that there are 9 untimely deaths? Therefore, the practice of mantra and medicine have been taught in order to help those beings who are dying untimely." Okay, so now the Bodhisattva capital is telling us, each of them, those sentient beings who have been attacked by sicknesses. In Tibetan we say naked tappa, so I just put attacked by sicknesses. So anyway, who is seriously ill? Yes. Stricken by, yes. And even though the sickness is not too serious, if there is no medicine and healing rituals, or if the doctor do the wrong treatment, that is the first untimely death. The second untimely death is dying from the punishment of a king. In the ancient time, you get lots of execution from the king. So even your lifespan is not exhausted, but because of something, then you get death penalty, and that is the second. The third untimely death is that being too careless, the non-human will steal the vitality, right? Vitality of those who are living too carelessly. So here Khenpo also explained, these days when we say too carelessly, also could mean like people who are taking too much alcohol, who are taking too much drugs, drug addicted, and so forth. This can be counted in this category. So they die untimely. The fourth untimely death is that dying by burning of fire. So death caused by fire, which we can see these days a lot. And then the fifth untimely death is death caused by water. These are not need to be explained more. You know what that means. The sixth untimely death is death by the wrathful wild animals, such as lion, tiger, fox, and snake. In Tibetan we have wa, so I also put fox, but I don't know, usually fox kill people or not? I don't know, but anyway, this word in Tibetan we have wa. Wa is usually fox, so I just put this, I have to translate what it is there. Anyway, it says, for example, it says lion, tiger, fox, and snake. The seventh untimely death is death by falling off the cliffs from a mountains. Precipice, yeah, precipice is another word. That is a nice word. But usually we say cliffs. Okay, I think cliffs is more well known. from mountains. The eighth untimely death is that death by poison or black magic or curses, right? Curse, yeah, curse. And also it's a zombie, rolang, zombie, yes, zombie. The ninth untimely death is death by hunger and thirst without getting food and drink. So in short, these are what the Tathagata taught as great untimely deaths. Furthermore, there are countless and immeasurable untimely deaths.
데네 코르데르 내진기 대변 전부 준이 뒤버 줄데 내진기 대변 전부 지직등 내진기 대변 전부 도르제등 다디선에 정말 명등 내진기 대변 전부 진진등 내진기 대변 전부 서진등 내진기 대변 전부 롱등 내진기 대변 전부 내제등 내진기 대변 전부 왕진등 내진기 대변 전부 동진등 내진기 대변 전부 저진등 내진기 대변 전부 삼진등 내진기 대변 전부 요와진등 내진기 대변 전부 족제대 내진기 대변 전부 주니보 대다고 내진기 대변 전부 레레라양 욕 내진 둔범 여봤대 대다기 책직도 좀 된달라 되게 이제 솔로 다 책직도 되게 창마 로셈직도 튼바 돈에 지원은 좀 된데 상직이 뒤 지원은 말이야 상직이 뒤 다작이 좀 된데 대신세바 맹길라 벤더예 대천 퇴대 다작라 양년저를 치위 지버 중얼 미주로 대나 다작 렌직도 튠바를 지시 초이버도 상제라 잡수 치오 최라 잡수 치오 견든라 잡수 치오 semchen 탐지기 된당 맨바당 대외래도 조와리 기오 제작도니 종엄 종해람 종델람 근비니 강나 도데디 최바당 다도데디 로바당 슈바 체년지 발라서 최바발라서 최바당 강나 좀 된데 대신셔바 맹겔라 벤르의 외기 젤로디 천 창화당 최바당 림조기비 셈젠 대덕라 다기 숭월 기오 용수 짜바르기 뇌바 탐제레 용수 타르와르기 삼바 탐제 용수 쪽바르 기오 다 내비진 전부 대변 주니 네 주니오디 다 콘도 양되네 근처숨래 잡서 줘
And the sutra continue. Then all the 12 great chieftains of Yakshas. In Tibetan we have Nojin Gidepun, so I translate the chieftains. Some people say commanders of 12 commanders of Yakshas, but commanders usually is Makpun in Tibetan. But I just put the chieftains. So anyway, these are non-human things. Then all the 12 great chieftains of Yakshas gather there in the entourage, in retinue, entourage. This is a French word. Okay, so each name is mentioned here, so I'm going to mention them also in Tibetan. Just exactly what is said in Tibetan, I'm going to say in the English. The great chieftains of Yaksha, Jijik, that is the first. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Dorje. Dorje is easy to translate, is Vajra. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Genzin. Genzin is, if you translate in English, it will be like the one who holds the ornament. And the great chieftain of Yaksha, Zadzin. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Lung. Lung is just wind. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Neche. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Wangzin. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Tungzin. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Mrazin. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Samzin. All the Zins, their last name is Zin, I think. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Yowadzin. The great chieftain of Yaksha, Dzogje. These are the great 12 chieftains of Yaksha. Each of the great chieftains of the Yakshas has 700,000 servants. They all said in one word or in one voice to the Bhagavan. So that means they all say together with the same voice to Bhagavan. And what they say is, Bhagavan, because of your compassion, we have heard the name of Bhagavan Tathagata Arhata Samyasam Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of the Light of Lavis Lazuli. We have heard his name. Therefore, there will be no fear of going down to the lower realm for us. Therefore, all we together harmoniously until we are alive, we're going to take refuge in Buddha, we're going to take refuge in Dharma, and we're going to take refuge in Sangha. And we'll be happy in order to benefit all sentient beings, in order to help them, and in order to happiness of them. Especially whether it's a town or cities or village or solitude. We have many, each different has a different measurement, but I just translate like a town, city, and then what is bigger than that? Town, city, right? Because we have Tong, Tongker, Tongdal, and Gomba. Gomba is the very solitude place. So, very solitude place, or a little village, or town, or city. Wherever this sutra exists, or people use this sutra, and then wherever they hold the name of Bhagavan, Tathagata, Arhata Samyasa Buddha, Medicine Guru, King of the Light of Lavis Lazuli, and who make offering or who serve this sutra, we will protect them. We will cherish them. And we will protect them. We will make them free from all the harms or harm, and then we will accomplish all their wishes. That's all. That is
Tene da ngazo sangye menlegi tene dola chenin jebe gewe zo degi tene jirdo sangye gi temaro maje darin jeba na tene lama gewe shinin tamye kuse temada lakwardo tene dandegi kanzo nerimde shine semyen tamye dewa tobachi tongo malamshun
근데 shumanila mela kachu yo marisinda chi songchine esa mare raba yo maro mela kachu mesik do den tan labchane esa ro kon memang ta de no. So we haven't finished the sutra yet, but somehow for next 2 Saturdays there will be no teaching on Medicine Buddha Sutra, because we will have something called 10 days teachings. So the next teaching on Medicine Buddha Sutra will be on the August 29th. Anyway, please, it is time for us to practice such an adolma and dedication. So when you do the dedication, please dedicate all the virtues that you have accumulated in the past, that you are accumulating in the present, and you will be accumulating in the future, including the merit that you just accumulated by listening this Dharma. For flourishing the Dharma and for longevity of gurus in general, and especially to specify or subsidize this COVID-19 pandemic as soon as possible. And please join us the practice of Saturday Dharma. Lamas Sangye Lama yedam khandra solai gyabzon che rasem donsai chige kolai gyabzon che o maya nam khada nyambe semje thamje lama sangye rinpo che lai gyabzon che sangye shudan gende nam lai gyabzon che lama yedam khandra solai gyabzon che rasem donsai chige kolai gyabzon che o man be moman 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 be o mane be moman 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 o mane be moman 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 o mane be moman 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 Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman 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 Oman be moman 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 Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman be moman be moman be moman be moman Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman be moman be moman be moman be Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman 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 be Oman be moman be moman be moman be moman be moman be moman be Oman be moman be moman be moman be moman be moman be moman be Oman be moman be moman be moman be Oman bemo man 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 bemo oman bemo man bemo man bemo man bemo oman beme wa le da lo boro ke le gyora wa ye ne da yo ya bu se wa so semje ye me de ne nam gu jide kham so joya waraya mai gyore je dai she me te be se jai je ke je la le se de se be so ne ge do ngai je ne ba jide kham so joya waraya mai gyore je che dai je khaya na se ba ya dar ne ge me da te be da ze be ne je ba da ya be re so ge lu je ga la ne ba ra ya mai gyore je ne be ge re don da je jo ya da lo ra ye ro so ya ro jo ya da she ya da ye ne la so ba ye lu je ga la se wa ra ya mai gyore je le sem de wa ya ma ya lu ya tro se be chung ye tro be do ya ma je ne ba ma le je da ya do ya de ba ya da te de ba ra jo lama ko jo so ge de je kan do je jo so me no ya do da le de lo wa ya me be de do ge mo ya ma la ya da ze do ba ra jo lama ko jo so ge do je da ha do je jo so me no do da le de lo wa me be de do ge o ya ma la da ze do ba ra jo lama ko jo so ge do je da ka do je jo so me no do da le de lo wa me be de do ge o ma la da de do ba yo. The regular dedication prayer and the auspicious Strashi prayer. Oh, so nam de ye tam je se ba ye thom ne ye be ra na pam ye ke ga na je ma la ro ba ye se be so le ro wa ro ra yo jam ba la ba ji tra ke ba na gun do zam bo de ya de yin te da gu ye je so da lo ye ge wa te da dam ye ra do mo san ye ku san ye be se la da shi ye mi ye de be se la da ge Tende me she dambe she la she da ngo wa mo lo ro pa ra yo de she le ja ja ve tene karama ya pa den tembe nyen mo de jo da gwen jo chao je je me tao ba ram be be da ye yo.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
That's all.